For 20 years, he never opened his eyes. But the world never stopped watching.
After 20 years in a coma, Prince Al-Walid bin Khaled, known as the Sleeping Prince,
following nearly 2 decades in a coma after a severe traffic accident in London in 2005.
And outside Nigeria's Saudi Arabian royal, who spent more than 2 decades in a coma after a horror car crash in London, has died at the age of 36. Prince Al-Walid bin Khaled
In a sterile room at King Abdulaziz Medical City in Riyadh, Prince Al-Walid bin Khaled bin Talal lay suspended between life and death, a breathing tube, feeding lines, the steady beep of machines that became his heartbeat for 2 decades. They called him the Sleeping Prince, a title that would capture hearts across the Arab world and beyond. But this wasn't a fairy tale. This was the story of a father's unbreakable faith, a family's endless devotion, and a young man who became a symbol of hope for millions who had never met him. What kept a father by his son's bedside for 20 years? What made strangers around the world pray for a prince they'd never known? And what did the world lose when the Sleeping Prince finally found his rest? The 18th of April, 1989. Prince Al-Walid bin Khaled bin Talal was born into one of the world's most powerful royal families. His grandfather, Prince Talal bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, was a son of King Abdulaziz, the founder of modern Saudi Arabia. His great-uncle was King Salman, the current monarch. By 2005, 16-year-old Al-Walid was following a path carved by royal tradition. Studying at a prestigious military academy in London, he was being groomed for leadership, for service, for a future that seemed destined for greatness. But on one ordinary day, in 2005, everything changed. The details of the accident remain private, a family's grief too deep for public consumption. What we know is this: a car crash, severe brain injuries, internal bleeding, a life hanging by the thinnest of threads, emergency surgery, specialists flown in from America and Spain. The world's best medical minds focused on saving one young prince. But when the surgeries ended and the machine started breathing for him, Al-Walid had slipped into a coma from which he would never fully emerge. He was just 15 years old, an age when most teenagers worry about exams and friendships, an age when the future stretches endlessly ahead, bright with possibility. For Prince Al-Walid, that future had suddenly stopped. Who was this young man who would capture the world's imagination? Prince Al-Walid bin Khaled bin Talal was more than his title suggested. Born into extraordinary privilege, yes, but also into extraordinary expectations. As the eldest son of Prince Khaled bin Talal Al Saud and Princess Al-Jazi bint Saud, a daughter of King Saud, Al-Walid carried royal blood from both sides of his lineage. His uncle was the billionaire investor Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, one of the world's richest men. But those who knew him speak not of his wealth or connections, but of his character. A serious student, a devoted son, a young man who understood the weight of his heritage and embraced the responsibility that came with his name. At the military academy in London, he was preparing for a life of service. In Saudi culture, the firstborn son carries the hopes of generations. Al-Walid was being shaped to one day serve his country, his people, his faith. His dreams? We can only imagine. Perhaps to modernize his kingdom, to bridge East and West, to honor the legacy of his great-grandfather, King Abdulaziz. Instead, he would become something else entirely, a symbol of endurance, faith, and the mysterious ways that love transcends consciousness. Room 314 at King Abdulaziz Medical City. For 20 years, this became more than a hospital room. It became a shrine, a place of pilgrimage, a testament to love that defies medical opinion and human understanding. Every day for 2 decades, Prince Khaled bin Talal made the same journey, from his palace to his son's bedside. Through political upheavals, family celebrations, national holidays, nothing could keep him away. If God had wanted him to die in the accident, he would have been in his grave now. These weren't just words of hope. They were a father's declaration of war against despair. In 2015, doctors approached Prince Khaled with devastating advice. Withdraw life support. and the machines, let his son go. The medical consensus was clear. After 10 years, recovery was impossible. Prince Khalid's response was immediate and unwavering. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. This wasn't denial. This was faith in its purest form. And then came the moments that kept hope alive. 2019. A video surfaces showing Al-Walid moving his head slightly. Another clip captures him raising his hand when greeted by his aunt, Princess Noura bint Talal. Involuntary reflexes, medical experts insisted. Miracles, his family believed. The family shared videos that would go viral across the Arab world. Al-Walid seemingly responding to Quran recitations. His body would shift slightly, his head would turn, as if some part of his soul recognized the sacred words that had shaped his childhood. Princess Rima, his mother, spoke of feeling her son's spirit present with them. Not the medical readings or brain scans, but a mother's intuition that her child was still fighting, still there, still listening. Every Ramadan, every Eid, every birthday, the family gathered not in celebration but in vigil. They decorated his room with Saudi flags. They played his favorite music. They spoke to him as if he might answer at any moment. On Eid al-Adha, 2025, just weeks before Al-Walid's death, his father posted, "I pray to Allah to heal my son and beloved Al-Walid." 20 years of the same prayer. 20 years of unwavering faith. In an age of digital connection, the Sleeping Prince became an unlikely internet sensation. The hashtag #SleepingPrince regularly trended across Arabic social media. Videos of his slight movements garnered millions of views within hours. But why? In a world full of tragedy and suffering, what made one comatose prince capture global attention? Perhaps because his story touched something universal. The power of love to transcend logic, the refusal to surrender hope even when hope seems hopeless. The case sparked intense debate between science and faith. Medical ethicists questioned the cost, both financial and emotional, of maintaining life support for 20 years. Religious leaders praised the family's unwavering belief in divine will. His hospital room became an unofficial pilgrimage site. Strangers would travel to Riyadh just to pray in the corridor outside. Letters poured in from around the world. The public's hunger for hope sometimes led to misinformation. False videos claiming Al-Walid had awakened circulated online, showing other people entirely. Each hoax broke hearts anew, but also revealed how desperately the world wanted a miracle. What the Sleeping Prince represented was larger than medicine or miracles. In a world increasingly divided by politics and ideology, here was a story everyone could understand. A parent's love, a family's faith, the mysterious nature of consciousness, and what it means to be truly alive.
Saudi Arabia's Sleeping Prince dies after 20 years in coma. Prince Khalid bin Talal has announced the passing of his son, Prince Al-Walid bin Khalid bin Talal, following nearly 2 decades in a coma after a severe traffic accident in London in 2005.
The 19th of July, 2025. After 7,305 days of waiting, hoping, and praying, the vigil finally ended. Prince Al-Walid bin Khalid bin Talal, aged 36, passed peacefully at King Abdulaziz Medical City in Riyadh. Reading Prince Khalid's words. With hearts full of faith in Allah's decree and destiny, and with profound sadness and sorrow, we mourn our beloved son, Prince Al-Walid bin Khalid bin Talal bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. May Allah have mercy on him, who passed away to Allah's mercy today. The announcement sent shockwaves across social media. Within hours, #Sleeping Prince was trending worldwide. Condolences poured in from heads of state, religious leaders, and millions of ordinary people who had followed his story. The funeral was scheduled with the dignity befitting a royal prince, but also the simplicity of Islamic tradition. The 20th of July, 2025. Prayers at the Imam Turki bin Abdullah Grand Mosque in Riyadh for men. Separate prayers at King Faisal Specialist Hospital for women. Senior members of the royal family attended. Government officials paid their respects. But perhaps most moving were the ordinary citizens who lined the streets. People who had never met the prince but felt they knew him through his father's posts, his family's devotion, his silent struggle. Here was a family that waited 20 years. In a time of medical miracles and technological solutions, here was faith that transcended science. Parents of children with disabilities found strength in Prince Khalid's example. Families facing impossible medical decisions drew courage from his unwavering hope. Religious communities saw proof that love is indeed stronger than death. Medical ethicists will debate the sleeping prince case for years to come. Was 20 years of life support compassionate care or futile treatment? The answer may depend less on medical textbooks and more on how we define the value of life, the power of hope, and the meaning of family devotion. A story about what it means to love without limit, to hope without guarantee, and to believe in something greater than ourselves. The sleeping prince sleeps no more. In Islamic tradition, death is not an ending, but an awakening, a return to Allah, a transition from this temporary world to eternal peace. For Prince Khalid bin Talal, the vigil is over. 20 years of bedside prayers have ended, but the love that sustained them both, that love continues, transformed but undiminished. Across the world, in hospital rooms and family homes, other vigils continue. Other families face impossible decisions. And many of them draw strength from a Saudi prince who taught the world that some fights are worth fighting, even when victory looks different than we imagined. The machines are silent now. The room is empty, but the story of the sleeping prince will echo through generations. A reminder that in a world that often feels too fast, too harsh, too quick to give up, love still has the power to endure 20 years of waiting, 20 years of hoping, 20 years of believing in miracles we cannot see. For 20 years, he never opened his eyes, but he opened the hearts of the world.